Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. Every day. We do it our own way. Sing it out every day. Yeah, let's make it a good day. Every day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Now, here's Jason.
Show. Whew. How sweet are those two? Look. Thank you. You guys are sweet. How sweet are the front row standing up? You don't need to stand up. You sit, enjoy your, I love you. You guys sit down, relax, enjoy yourself. Aaron will bring the beverage cart around in a little bit. We'll get you a little, little vodka soda. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the old show. First up, Uber just released its annual Lost and Found Index. Who knew they did that? And I'm just going to say, some of you really need to get your lives together. Because I'm just going to say that. The usual stuff made the list. We're talking your phones, your keys, your wallets, but then things take a turn because people also left behind a mannequin head with human hair, a chainsaw, Falen, somebody left a turtle, Shrek ears, Ozempic, and a urinal. A urinal? Who's riding around with bathroom fixtures? Yeah. Hey, driver, be careful. That's my travel toilet. Yeah. And the most, thank you, Thomas, for laughing at that one. Yeah. The most forgetful cities, we're looking at you. New York, Miami, Chicago, LA, and DC. Basically, if you're hot, cold, or corrupt, you're losing stuff. That's right. The most forgetful day, by the way, I love that they know this, October 26th.
What?
I mean, that explains the Shrek ears and the turtle, I guess, yeah. And the most forgetful time between 11 p.m. and midnight, also known as I'm never drinking again. That's right, hour, yeah. I would never leave her in the back of an Uber. Say hi to Fallon, everybody. Hello, friends.
Hello.
Have you, we didn't talk about, have you ever left anything like big in the back of an Uber or taxi or whatever?
A taxi, I left, so I do not believe in spending money on sunglasses. Like, I am a cheap, like, gas station sunglasses person, but one time in my life, I bought expensive sunglasses and left them in a taxi in San Francisco, and I was like, this is why I do not buy them, and to this day I stand by it. I am like a cheap sunglasses girl for life.
I know a lot of people like that. I was like that for years. I said this on the Jason show. This had to be like 4 years ago. I never owned a pair of sunglasses, and people were shocked by that. I didn't even buy cheap ones. I never owned sunglasses until about 5 or 6 years ago. I was in Vegas, and it was my birthday. I know. I may have been having some Coca-Cola, and yeah. And when I say Coca-Cola, I mean Grey Goose. Yeah. And I may have stumbled into a fancy store and bought fancy sunglasses. This is no joke. I got back to Minnesota. I sat on them in my car. I sat right down. I crushed them like a little grape.
See,
and yeah,
don't spend money on them.
Yeah,
It's not. It is interesting. I've learned recently that not everyone really even needs sunglasses. My friend Tina, who has brown eyes, she says she only wears them for the style. She doesn't need them. And I think there are certain shades of blue, like they are more sensitive to light. My husband, yes, I learned this recently. So my husband and daughter have very crystal blue eyes, and they're incredibly sensitive to the sun. So fluorescent lighting gives my husband a headache, and I didn't know this, and I looked into it recently, and it's a true thing. So people with brown eyes typically have less of an issue with the sun than people with very blue eyes. I don't know, guys. I'm not an optometrist, but I promise you, I did read this recently.
Gays don't like fluorescent lighting either, just because it's
or Mariah Carey,
or because it's bad lighting for pictures. I mean, that's right. Yeah,
That's fair.
We're like little vampires. Gays see fluorescent light, we're like, ee! Yeah. It's time for the hot dish. Roll it, Leo. Let's get started. Here's my spoon here. I'll do some hot dish served in a casserole dish. First up, it's the face-off fans of the Housewives of Beverly Hills have been waiting for. The heated second part of the reunion aired Tuesday night. Kyle Richards and Dorit dove into the drama. Okay. Because Dorit's husband, soon-to-be ex-husband, PK, and her friend Kyle were text messaging, even though Dorit and PK were separating. It's a situation. Here's a little bit of the trailer.
You went back to your room in Oceanside and called PK?
You just wrap your head around how that is.
I don't think I'm superior to anyone.
You don't exactly live like the Queen of Sheba. You live on a main road.
How did it feel seeing what Garcelle said about the break-in?
You intimated that it was PK.
Was I the only one that felt that way?
You tell me who else. Your 4 other people from Twitter?
I am just so sick of it.
Well, as you can see in the next episode, in the finale, which will be part 3 next week, Garcelle leaves the set, and as we now know, that was it. Garcelle will never be back. She didn't just walk off, she quit the show after that. Jennifer Tilly, Academy Award nominee, Jennifer Tilly, her just eating corn chips during the whole thing is like the best thing to come from Housewives in a long time. Yeah, just eating her, Jennifer eating her bugles, just shoving a little. It's awesome, but. Okay, can I ask you, for people that don't watch Housewives, I want to include you in this. Let me just ask a scruples question like that. Let's say you and Jake are separating, okay?
I don't like that, but okay. Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that either unless I can marry Jake. But anyway, yeah. Let's say you two are separating, okay? I shouldn't be texting him like, I'm sorry. You wouldn't like it if I was texting him, would you?
No, but I've had friends do that.
Have you?
Yeah, and then they ended up marrying my ex-boyfriend. Yeah. It's okay. They're happy, guys.
They're happy,
okay.
yeah, they're
it was
happy,
a better relationship, but at first it was shocking and upsetting. And we aren't friends anymore because I was like, well, what am I going to talk to you about? My ex-boyfriend. But it worked out for them, and it is weird. But are they really friends anyway?
Well, that's the question. They were real friends, and then reality shows. All jokes aside. Again, just a general topic, not just these shows wreak havoc. It's like a meat grinder to relationships because you are paid to fight with people. It's not healthy. So Dorit and Kyle, they're just not going to have a good friendship. You can't when you're on Bravo.
Clearly.
Next in the dish, the bigger a show gets, the more criticism it's going to receive. That's just the law of TV. So the creator of the White Lotus, Mike White, is going through some things right now. He called into our buddy Howard Stern's show, Baba Booey. Hi, Howard. Talking about the reactions, the divisive reactions to season 3. Listen to this.
I just realized now I'm in this place where, no matter what I do, there's going to be, it should have been what it was like in season 2, or they should have done this. There's been so many reactions to the finale. And, now that it's this big hit, I think people, are criticizing the show in certain ways, but also just the phenomenon. And, so it's they're meaner in ways that I'm not used to because I'm used to being this kind of underdog indie writer that people are more championing. And so some of that stuff does make me feel misunderstood or whatever.
Mike White also confirmed, yeah, it's true. He also confirmed, listen to this, audience, Woody Harrelson almost joined season 3 to play the Sam Rockwell part. But listen to, no, guys, listen to this. You know why Woody didn't do it? Woody wanted to go on vacation. Is there a more Woody Harrelson? I mean, that's so Woody Harrelson, yeah.
I think Woody would have been so good in
that character.
Role. Like a lot of times you're like, oh, I can't imagine anyone else for that. And Sam was amazing, but I think Woody would have also been great. I did see, and a lot of people know this at this point, that everyone on the cast got paid the same amount. No matter how how successful they've been and how many roles, everyone got the same amount to do the show, and it was $40,000 per episode. Which I thought was like very interesting. Yeah, I thought it was really cool. They do look that show launches so many careers, right? So I think you go into it knowing this is going to be huge for me.
Well, also the cast bonded like never before, and they spent like 4 months in Thailand. So yeah, I mean, and they were. I mean, let's be honest. HBO's not putting them up at the Super 8.
Right.
You know what I mean? No offense to the Super 8. If they're a sponsor, I love you. But I'm just saying. Also, Mike's right. You know, and that must be hard. You know, any creative, you work on something, and Mike does everything with the show. It's his vision. He directs it. He writes it. You do a creative vision, and then you put it out there for the world to digest, and not everybody's going to like your baby. Some people are going to say your baby's ugly, and it's not. And no, but I'm saying, I'm using the baby analogy, and it hurts because you want everyone to like it.
When you're that invested in it, and it's your writing, there's no way you can't take it personally. It won't hurt you. You can't.
And it's the flip side of the success. Yeah, he loves that more people are watching his show, but more people are looking at his baby and going, ooh, those eyebrows. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
Absolutely.
I say eyebrows because, no. I say eyebrows because somebody in my life, you can go ahead and laugh, they were, by their own admission, a really unattractive baby. So their mom used to put a blanket over them in the grocery store, and then when someone would come up to them, they would always come up with a compliment of like, oh, cute eyebrows. You know what I mean? Yeah. The person that I'm referring to has grown up into a beautiful human being. Don't worry. More Dish when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. I'll tell you as soon as the camera's off who it is. Season 10. Don't forget the Jason Show is expanding again. We're going to welcome San Antonio to our family on Monday. Welcome back. We all have our own hidden talents that, we might pull out at parties. Fallon, what's your hidden talent?
I can sleep anywhere. And I will pull that out at a party. We'll go to sleep on a couch.
Hell, you might pull it out here on the show, yeah. There have been some episodes, man, that sometimes the audience falls asleep. Yeah. Not you guys, no.
No.
Monday was a little, I don't blame them, yeah. Meghann Fahy from season 2 of The White Lotus was on Kimmel and revealed her secret talent. She revealed that she can locate. I'm just writing what Bjorn wrote. She can locate anyone's nipples on the first try.
Everyone's face is perfect.
How do you know? What is it?
I'm telling you, it's just a talent I have. I didn't choose it. It chose me.
Okay, all right. All right, I will let you... Should I take off my jacket, or?
Yeah, well, you don't have to.
All right, I'll take off the jacket.
I'm not looking.
Well, you have to look, don't you?
Well,
you do it blind? It was like a braille thing?
No. Okay, ready?
Okay, yeah,
okay.
Go ahead. You missed one, though, I will tell you. You missed. There's a very important nipple. Number 3. You want it? You can take it home.
Oh, God. That's so... Why?
I don't even know. Aaron, no, we're not trying that here on the show.
Take your jacket off.
Aaron, you wanna try? If you wanna try to locate mine? Come here. Come here. Come here, Aaron.
Come on. Don't look. Don't look.
Come here.
Don't look.
Come here.
Don't look.
Come here. We're going right here.
I got a
That's
mystery
insane.
Maggie for a second. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We got to open your coat more. Okay, can I look? I can't.
No, you can't look. Just ow! Ow!
Did she get him?
God, Thomas, yeah, give me a cigarette. Yeah. That's the most action I've had from a woman since the 90s. Yeah. That was great.
Did she get him?
She got him all right. She got him. Look. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nipple Nancy. Look at her. That's right. Yeah.
What?
What? Are we still on the air? We're checking. Yeah, we are. Bjorn, can we check? We're still on the air.
You know how they'll do a montage of everyone saying like something on the news? Will there be a montage of just people grabbing nips today?
Probably.
On different TV shows.
We will be a montage on John Oliver or Kimmel at some point. Yeah. And if we are, let me end your montage. And that's the monitor. That's the.
Oh no.
And that's the montage. There we go, yeah. That's your nipple montage. Back to the show. More hot dish for you. Up next, a brutal clapback. TikTok is filled with creators who review restaurants. One of those accounts is called the VIP list. The two influencers who run it are known for their honest and mostly rage-baiting approach to their videos. Well, for a new video, they went to, is it Sema? Sema. It's a Michelin-starred South Indian restaurant in New York. They were less than impressed with almost everything, claiming they could name 15 better Indian restaurants, including a cart outside their apartment. They also mispronounced names and, quote, didn't get the hype. Well, they're catching some heat for that review on Instagram and TikTok from former Top Chef host Padma, who was not having it. She dragged the VIP list girls through the mud and back. Watch this.
There are these two women that go around critiquing restaurants, and they recently went to Sema, which is a South Indian restaurant here in New York. And, you know, they say things like they've lost faith in the Michelin guide. And I'm pretty sure Michelin doesn't give about you either, or what you think about anything, let alone food. And just a tip, before you go off slagging other cuisines, maybe you should understand them a little bit more, or at least, I don't know, learn how to pronounce the dishes you're actually critiquing. And by the way, Sema isn't made for you. It's not. It's made for us. And I'm pretty sure that if nobody but Desi's went there for the rest of its existence, it would still be booked solid for the next decade.
I mean, that is a situation where, you know, there's good and bad, obviously, with this era of influencers. You know, there are no more gatekeepers. It's not just people that write reviews on in magazines in Chicago and New York, the food writers. There is now 24-year-olds on TikTok are now causing or shifting trends and influencing people of where to eat. Yia Vang, our guest today, can talk about that. There, you know, influencers flock to his restaurants, and you can argue help out. But then there's that where sometimes these people get on, no matter how many followers they get on their TikTok and have no idea what they're talking about, or they do it just to get the clicks. They're purposely negative just to get the clicks.
That's the thing, the rage bait.
That's the rage
very
baiting.
upsetting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is disturbing that that won't happen in this case, because like she said, this Michelin restaurant will continue on no matter what the review is. But that could really, really affect a different small business if they did something like that and just ripped it apart. And I do think like you have to be a little bit aware of that. But I mean, you're right. Everyone wants to be an influencer or review things without, you know, qualifications. Honestly. And so it can be really upsetting to especially small and local businesses.
I have so many people in my life in the restaurant business. You know, I'm lucky. I have so many friends, including Yia. My husband, full disclosure, does restaurant and hotel marketing. My best advice to anyone when you're visiting cities, you made such a good point there that I want to just say real quick. Don't just rely on, you know, Becky on TikTok. I don't care how many followers Becky or Tim, Tim Eats whatever has, and a lot of these influencers are great. My point is, go to some gatekeepers. Have a combo meal of reviews that you trust if you're coming into a new city and you're wondering where to eat. Go to a couple TikTok people, but also go to the tried and true gatekeepers of those cities. Go to a weekly magazine in Chicago. Go to Eater. Go to these sites and then judge for yourself. Don't just go to Yelp. Don't go to Google reviews and base it on that, because there's a lot of bitter Bettys that go on these review sites just to be bitter Bettys. Don't rely on them. Come with a mixed plate of reviews and then go. Yia doesn't need it because everything he does is perfect. So there we go. Yeah. And I literally, I had to sell 4 kids to get into his restaurant. You know what I mean? 4 kids and 2 relatives.
Whose kids were they? You don't have kids.
I found them. I just yeah.
Okay, all right.
Next in the dish, Minecraft Mania at the movies. Listen to this. Let's put this under the category of this is why we can't have nice things. A Minecraft movie, I told you about this. You saw it, huge hit in theaters. But it's also causing some chaos. Audiences, mostly made up of kids, have been going nuts over one scene in particular. We'll discuss on the other side. Watch this. Okay, so Jack Black's character says the phrase chicken jockey. Now, if you're... I love my job. Now, if you're not familiar with Minecraft, a chicken jockey... am I really going to read this? A chicken jockey is a baby zombie riding a chicken like a horse.
Okay.
It's a rare occurrence in the video game, especially if it enters a boxing ring. So the scene is causing kids to go bananas, jumping out of their seats, throwing popcorn, throwing food, and it's gotten so disruptive. One New Jersey theater, this is not a joke, has even banned children from seeing the movie without an adult. Again, this is why we can't. Look, I grew up in the Rocky Horror Picture Show era. I love that kids are having fun. I love that people are even going to the theaters to begin with. But don't be throwing crap at people. You're taking it 2 steps too far.
Absolutely. I get having a parent with you. That makes sense. But some parents are just as unruly as kids. So, let's be honest.
Yes.
So it might not solve the problem completely, but something to be aware of.
I'm just hoping this audience doesn't throw anything at us. You know what I mean? Show's early. My nipples were grabbed today. Anything could happen.
That's true.
That happened just doesn't it seem like a year ago? It just happened.
Wow.
Oh my God, Aaron.
Do you still feel the aftermath?
I do. I feel like Aaron is still right here. Yeah. That's how good you are, Aaron. Next, Hershey.
Your lucky husband.
That's right. Next, Hershey's candy bars are not just concessions. You can buy it in a movie theater. But now they're going to become the main attraction. This is not a joke. Folks, where's the asteroid? Because a movie about Hershey's chocolate is being developed.
Okay.
It's about the life of Milton Hershey and his wife Kitty as they create the chocolate brand and all of the good work, their philanthropic endeavors. Here's what else we know. It'll star Finn Wittrock and Alexandra Daddario, thank you, as Milton and Kitty. Mark Waters, good guy, signed on to direct. He also directed Mean Girls, Freaky Friday. The film, no one's distributing it yet. They don't have a deal done, but they're aiming for a release next year. Okay. At first, when Bjorn and I talked about this in the office, this seemed like something ridiculous. I feel a little bit better about the backstory. I like an origin story. I want to know, how did Kitty make that chocolate? You know?
That's fair.
It's a great American company.
Sure. What's
the origin? How did Mr. Hershey become Mr. Hershey?
I think his parents gave him the name, but
Touche, Fal. She's here all week. Yeah.
And I'm going to leave on that one.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll check it. I like her. My husband really likes her, so I'm sure we'll see it.
I really like him, so there we go. That's the dish. Yia Vang and more when we come back. Stay with us, everybody. Coming up in just a little bit, He's quite literally one of the hottest chefs in the country, and I love him. He's a great guy, too. Chef Yia Vang will join us live with a feast you will not believe. And then it's another edition of the Jason Show Watch Club. Other talk shows have book clubs. We have a TV watch club. What's in it? You'll find out. And Ask Us Anything, Jason and Falen edition. That and more when we continue. Welcome back. Look who's here. The best, man. He's the best. Our next guest is a renowned chef from here in Minnesota, known around the world. He continues to rise in the restaurant world and is a pioneer, putting a national spotlight on Hmong cuisine, and we are better for it. Audience, give it up for the great Chef Yia Vang, everybody. Hi, buddy.
Hey, man.
Are we going to try to eat this during the whole during the segment?
You know, I figured. You know who's the real backbone behind this show? Who? The crew members.
That's right, the crew.
So
yes.
This is for the crew. Yes.
That's right.
All you out there.
That's right. Gerg and Thomas will try to eat this by the end of the show.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me ask you. I watched your face with the Padma and the influencer. Yeah. Is it hard? You've done restaurants for a while now. In this age of social media, is it hard to navigate that, not take things personal and use it to your advantage?
You know, one of the things I learned, you know those big whales, and then they have those little fish that comes and eats,
yes.
the plankton and everything like that. It's kind of like that relationship. It's symbiotic, I mean, the influencers come in, they do what they do, and then us as, the chefs, the cooks, we have to be able to communicate with them. And so I think that it's a very symbiotic relationship. But at the end of the day, too, one of the things I've told many different chefs and cooks is, like, at the end of the day, we are the content. They need the content.
They need the content.
And so it's about building those relationships. And we have some really incredible relationship with some people out there that, influencers, content creators that come in that are really, really amazing.
Yes, and want to do good. Again, it wasn't just busting on influencers. There's a lot of people that do want to celebrate the good things happening in the restaurant industry. Speaking of good things, let me read this. Chef Yia Vang's restaurant, which, by the way, you have to go to. Reservations are booked through 2042. But anyway, yeah. One of the world's greatest places of 2025 by Time Magazine. Deny. Okay. Look at that. Look at that, kids. Look at that. That's Time freaking Magazine. What does that feel like to you?
So, when we first got the email on it, I literally thought it was a scam. I was like, man.
Did you?
Oh, man, dude, like, when Time Magazine calls it, like, hey, 100 best places to visit in the world, and you're like, yeah, but, like, send $500 to this guy. And, so I totally thought it was a scam. And then our PR group and our, my manager went through it, and he's like, no, this is for real. And it was really incredible. Like, you look at the list, and, like, Notre Dame is on there, which is not the football team, like the church.
Notre Dame, yeah, the church, yeah.
And then there was, like, this hotel in Dubai that's like $300 million to build, and you're like, man, if they come to the corner of 13th and 2nd there, it's like,
Yeah.
But it's like,
that's where the restaurant
is, like,
yeah.
But it's amazing, and I think that one of the great things that I hold really dear in my heart with it was talking to my mom and dad about it.
I was just
and my mom has saying that our hopes and prayers for our children is that what you guys do will not just be known in our community but known to the world. And so it's really cool to see this 70-some-year-old mom who's been through so much war, pain, suffering, to say, hey, we can celebrate this together. And so for me, it was just a great honor to have that.
I did think, I want to get onto the feast. I want to wrap that up by saying, I really did think about your beginnings, how you grew up. I thought about your mom. I thought about what this meant, not just to you, but what that meant to her. So it made, I continue to be so happy for you, my friend.
And on one end, too, we just love representing Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Like, on a world stage.
Absolutely.
So that to me was the greatest honor, where it's like, they're like, wait, this isn't a New York thing. This isn't an LA thing. Like, this is in Minneapolis.
Yep.
And right there in Northeast, you know?
That's why one of the reasons we're based here. Come see us. Okay. The crew will be eating this, as we said a little bit later. What am I looking at here? What is this?
So this is called the feast, right? This is actually so this is actually what started Union Monk Kitchen in Vinai. Before anything, what we would do is we would go into people's house, and we're doing that again with Union Monk Kitchen, with our catering, our special events. We go into your house, and this is a mini feast. But what we do, we'll take a whole table, we'll line it up with banana leaves, and we put all the food right in the middle. So this is just like a third of what we do. And so back in the day, that's what I would do. I would go from house to house doing these things. One time, my best story is, one time I go in, I didn't realize that it was a bachelorette party. So I literally, like, no, dude, I was the only,
Were there people there squeezing nipples?
No, well,
that's right, yeah.
No, I walked in, there's like 20 girls, and they're all looking at me, and I'm like, I have all my stuff. I'm like, where do you want me to set up? Do you know what I'm saying? And so they're like, oh yeah, like, just go to the kitchen, we'll be with you. And the whole time I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, dang, this looks really weird. But this is kind of the core, the crux of how it started. We have sticky rice, we have our roasted chicken, we have a whole fish right on here, different pickles and monk sausage, we have different vegetables, and this all comes to your house. We lay it out. It's part of our story. We're going back to our origins of how it started, and that's what we're really doing.
Does it, I ask you a version of this every time, but every time you're here, a new city joins our lineup, and our friends now in Texas. You said a version of it in the answer to the question about what time meant to you. I reference you all the time. It must continue to feel so great that you're also bringing not only pride to your family, but you're bringing Hmong cuisine to people all over the world that didn't even know it existed, or didn't even know the glory of your cuisine. That continues to still be a gift, I would assume.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, I think the one thing about Hmong food that we love talking about is the Hmong people for generations and generations have gleaned from other cultures, and it's actually the thing that shows that what happens when one culture can borrow or take from other cultures and glean and learn, and what happens when all these cultures come together. Like, we get this amazing thing where we can live in unison together, and that's what part of Hmong culture is all about.
How long do you think it's going to take Gerg and Thomas to eat this?
You know, I've seen two very petite Hmong ladies throw this down, so I believe in these guys.
I believe in Thomas and Gerg, too. Give it up for Yia Vang, everybody. If you're watching us locally or making a trip to the Twin Cities, which you should, head to mn.com to make a reservation. Sincerely, there's a reason it's in Time Magazine, and there's a reason it's this guy right here. We'll be right back, everybody. Stay with us. Thank you, buddy. As always. Oh, my God. Gerg, you're eating this. Welcome back to the show. Don't forget, get some Jason Show swag. The link is on our socials. Well, y'all, we don't watch. We watch shows so you don't have to, or so that we can recommend them to you. It's part of our new Jason Show Watch Club. That's right. Other shows have book clubs, not us. We have TV clubs. First up, a new satirical comedy on Apple TV Plus. The Studio is what we're going to talk about. It is created by Seth Rogen about the inner workings of a big film studio in Hollywood. Seth stars as the newly appointed head of a film company attempting to save it and produce a big hit. I checked out episode 1, Falen. This is on Apple TV Plus. The crew behind it is spectacular. You can tell it has good bones because of the production value, the writing. Capital L, liked it. Now, I only watched the pilot. Now, here's what I know, and I'm going to continue. Here's what I know. Producer Bjorn watched episode 2, and he said there was a moment where he collapsed laughing. So I cannot wait to get to that moment. You know, and let me say this about the studio. Throughout television, the history of television, sometimes shows about TV don't resonate with the audience. You know, I remember that Matthew Perry show, Sunset Strip. You know, some studio, something something in the Sunset Strip, that went over the heads of the general audience, because sometimes TV people think that we get all the jokes, and we don't. This show avoids that, even though it's about the industry. It's just funny. It doesn't matter if it was about the movie business or a paper company or a box company or Walmart. It's just funny. And the set, led by Seth Rogen, Catherine O'Hara is in this, and I mean, come on, Catherine O'Hara could read the want ads, and I would think it was hysterical.
True.
I would recommend it. I'm giving it right now, I'm giving like a B-. I could raise the grade, but I'm only through episode 1. And it's on Apple TV. Another good one from them.
That's one I do want to check out. I had a lot of recommendations, and I heard from everyone basically what you're saying. Give it to episode 2, because episode 2 gets better. And that's, I mean, usually the case, right? The pilot, we always say, is hard. You're setting up characters and everything.
Yeah,
so.
you gotta, I mean, a house has to have a foundation, and then this episode 1, though funny, was setting up the foundation, and I could see where it was going. So I'm gonna go back to it. Again, Catherine O'Hara, need I say more? And Seth is fantastic in it, too.
He's so funny.
What are you watching?
Okay, it's a show on Hulu, and I guess this is based on a true story. It's another show my sister-in-law recommended because she listened to a podcast, and it's called Dying for Sex. And this one stars Michelle Williams and Jenny Slate. So this is not a spoiler, because again, based on a true story, but the gist is Michelle Williams' character had breast cancer. She beat it. 3 years go by. She's, with her husband in therapy because he no longer wants to have relations. And she's like, what's going on? Like, I want to. So then she gets the call that she has stage 4. And she's like, that's it. Like, I'm going to explore all the things I've wanted to explore. So she leaves her very nice husband. He lets her stay on his insurance. And she goes on an exploration journey, if you will.
I see, do I see the coal miner's daughter? Is that Sissy Spacek?
That's her mother, yes.
Oh, I'm watching it now.
She comes in a few episodes in, just so you know. She's not there from the beginning. I'm going back and forth on how I feel about this show.
Why?
I don't know. I like it, but it's funny and it's sad, and you feel lots of emotions. She really is exploring lots of things, and I'm like, some of this I'm like, I don't know. But there's another actor, and his name is escaping me, that is her neighbor, and I love him and like everything he does, and I don't know why I can't think of his name. But I would say check it out, but it is very adult themes, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Very adult themes.
And that's on Hulu.
Hulu.
There we go. That's our Watch Club. When we come back, we gave you the chance to ask us anything, and boy, did you. And we don't know the questions. We don't know the questions until we read them live, and we'll do that when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. I'm curious. I might watch it now. Welcome back. They do it online. Why not do it on the show, Fallon, Welcome back to our little morning party. Well, every day after the actual show, what you're watching right now, I take some time to hang with the audience. I figured they're nice enough to come here. The least I could do is answer some questions. We do a little Q&A. We do it every day. And they... And maybe not today. Anyway, yeah. And they can ask me anything. I always joke that the good thing about coming into the audience is I can say things I can't say on TV. But we want to open that up to all of you. So it's time for Ask Us Anything. We posted we posted on our Facebook and Instagram pages, letting you submit any question you want. Also note, Fallon and I have not seen any of these questions until they pop up on the teleprompter, and it begins right now.
Well, so we put a lot of faith into Bjorn over here. Hopefully he didn't sabotage us with these questions.
He looks sweet, but yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah. I'm excited to answer some of these. Do you know how many DMs I get a day with people asking me questions to ask you? And I'm like, why don't you send him a DM and
I know, follow me, please. I'm a desperate 50-year-old. She has enough followers.
Why are you asking me to ask him?
Okay, first up, here we go, Fallon. A two-parter from Cindy. Okay. She wants to know, how did Fallon meet Jake? And how did Jason meet Colin?
I met Jake on Bumble, the dating app. I'd never done dating apps before. I downloaded that one. I think I swiped right on a handful of people, but I only sent a message to 2 people. I only sent like a follow-up message to one person. It was Jake. And it was, I have like a very lucky story because so many of my friends are on dating apps for so long and they're like, you're the worst. Like, why did you find someone so easily?
Did you know right away?
What do you mean? Like I knew I was going to marry him from the app?
No, did you know after the first date that you were at least going to be with him exclusively, like really quick?
Oh, if I go on a date with anyone, they better have plans to marry me. I don't mess around. So I don't waste time. I don't play games. Day one, I'm like, do you love me and want to marry me or not? Like, let's get it out of the way. I have never been chill, and I won't be.
You guys are going to Home Goods after to get towels.
Yeah. And Jake was like, I think, yeah, let's get married. I'm a great. Let's do it.
Great, yeah. Very similar. Very similar.
Yeah.
I met Colin on Match.com. I had friends, Haley controlled my Match.com profile for me, and I met Colin. I breadcrumbed him for a while because he was younger, and my friends didn't want me to date anyone younger. But we ended up going out, and I knew right away.
Mm-hmm.
I knew the minute we went out on that date, and other than about 3 weeks. We've never been apart in 12 years.
That's amazing.
About 3 weeks, yeah, 3 or 4 weeks, yeah.
Also, really great you had a friend to monitor your dating profile because I didn't know how to do it. So it just pulled in pictures from my Facebook. I didn't have a single word written about me, and it's one picture of me holding a microphone from Facebook.
That's lovely.
That's really embarrassing, yeah.
Next, here we go, Fallon. Becky writes to us, asks, why do you have the very short segment at the end of your show?
Great
No
question.
one has ever, that's actually, you know I love a good pull back the curtain. I don't want to get too inside baseball, but the top half of the show is where the meat is. Like if you're eating a chicken wing, that's where like the good meat is. The back half of the show, we want to make like the interview segments longer. So in order to give those segments enough time, we kind of cheat a little bit on the back end and make those 2 segments shorter so we can give more meat, more time to our guests and the like, because you have to have a certain amount of commercials in every show.
Mm-hmm.
That's the easiest way to explain it. We've messed around with it before. Next, a question about executive producer Jeff. She wants to know, hey, is Jeff married?
Jeff's not here to answer that question, so we'll have to go on not knowing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Jeff is actively single. And yeah, he's and I gotta tell you,
leave it.
Yeah. When anyone that's married in a relationship, there are bumps in the road. It's not all sunshine and roses. Every time Jeff hears photographer Eric and I talk about, this, and we're married to wonderful people who are better than us. Whenever Jeff hears us complain about our spouses, Jeff goes like this. Oh, God, I'm glad I live alone. Yeah. So he never regrets it at all. Yeah, he's happy. Keep the questions coming. If we didn't get to you, we'll get to you in weeks ahead. We'll be right back. Back in a moment. Good question.
I think we had to cut a tie because I'm too long-winded.
Oh, God, no. Welcome back to one of those short segments that you wrote about. We want you to be part of our studio audience. Tickets are completely free. Head to eventbrite.com or the Eventbrite app. Search The Jason Show. You click on a date, join the fun. You're in by 9:30 and you're out by 11:15. We have some great shows and great guests coming up. But please, we ask politely, please only sign up for a day where you can actually show up. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everybody. Don't be ghosting us. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Fallon on air. She has more followers, so I'm 2,000 away from 50.
Oh my gosh, you're so close.
I need 2,000 people to follow me, and I'll give away a car or something. Yeah. I'm not going to, but I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Right.
I'm not kidding. I met another neighbor.
Oh.
I had another knock at my door, which I'm not used to people knocking at my door, and it was neighbor Amy with her daughter. How cute is this? The daughter brought toys for the dogs and a little welcome to the neighborhood sheet, and then Amy proceeded to give me the dish about all the neighbors around me, and I was like,
there's always just one person in every neighborhood who knows everything.
Oh, that is Amy. Amy systematically went like this. She's like, okay, she's great. She'll bring you cookies. Linda in the blue house is wonderful. This person, this person, I was there for it. But thank goodness, she's like, every dog in the neighborhood is male.
Oh.
Yeah. She goes, and until you get a fence, because I do need a backyard fence, she goes, until you get a fence, I have a fence. You could bring the boys in the backyard. I got to tell you, again, as I'm calling these stories, the burbs are burbing. They are burbing. I am so here for it. Went back to the home improvement store last night. I bought a shovel.
What?
Who am I? I bought a shovel. Colin bought a shovel, actually. Colin bought it, yeah. That's going to do it for us. If you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, you go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you that you're doing it wrong. Thanks to this audience. Thanks to you. Make it a good day. We'll see you back here tomorrow, everybody. Bought a shovel.